Exodus 14:13 says, "Do not be afraid, stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring to you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see them again. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still." You see, God's plans are always greater than our plans. Human minds is literally limited. We might think that is going to come through for us in one way, but He ends up doing a whole different thing, greater and bigger than what we think. You see, in the story here, the Israelites are literally going to the breakthrough. They are in the wilderness. The Egyptians are chasing them, and they are trying to escape. They were being enslaved and everything. And because of the suffering that they were going through, they now started to cry out to God. They now started to lament to Moses, like, why did God bring us out? Were there not enough graves in Egypt for us to die? Like, they started to literally say so many things because of fear, because they turned back and they saw the chariots, the many people that the Egyptians had ready to kill them and stuff. And that's literally what we go through on a normal day. Like, sometimes we are on our way to our breakthrough and we see the suffering that we're going through. We see the many afflictions. I don't know what it could be, but it could be maybe job wise, we are applying and we're not getting that application. Or even with marriage, we have dated and dated and we have not met that guy. So because of everything that we're going through, now feel like, okay, God, is it that I'm not this person? Or is it, you start to doubt yourself. You start to self sabotage. We do that a lot as humans. And God is literally telling them, like, do not be afraid. The Egyptians you see today, you are seeing today, you're not going to see them again. God literally was on the way to delivering them. And the Bible says that God hardened the heart of Pharaoh because he wanted to deliver them in a way that would glorify him. Sometimes we're going through hardships and thinking, God, why am I going through this? Why is my situation the worst? Why is it that I have to suffer so much? But you're forgetting that our God is not a limited God. He's not a God. He doesn't think like us. His mind is always greater than ours. Like, his plans are greater than ours. So what you should be thinking about is, God, what are you trying to do in this situation that will what is it that you're trying to do that will glorify in my situation? Because we might be praying for, I would just say job, for example. We might be praying for a job and we were like, okay, cool, you know what? Let me settle for this job. Let me go for this job. This job looks so great. But God is saying, no, this is not what I want for you. I want you to actually be a CEO. I want you to actually have your own business. I want you to actually have this idea that will generate much more income. But our minds are so limited. We need to understand and we need to realize that the God that we serve is an unlimited God. Is a God that will always come through for us. You see, he waited until they got to the sea. They were literally they were seeing the enemies coming to them, and they were in fear. They were panicking. But God is telling them, do not be afraid. Just stand still. And in that moment is when God parted the Red Sea. He parted the sea just so to show to them, to prove to them that there's no levels. They cannot compare. And the thing is, they were so quick to forget the many miracles that God has done, had done for them before they even got through the wilderness. Sometimes our situation makes us to forget the many miracles that God has done for us in our lives, the many situations He has taken us out of. That fear will get us thinking that God cannot do this situation for us. He can, and He will, because He's done it many times. You see, the Bible is just a compilation of many stories talking about faith and how God has literally come through for so many people. So if you don't get inspired by just reading the Bible and seeing that your situation is not the end of the world, then I don't know for you. But God is telling us to be still, to have faith in Him, to know that He is God, that this situation that we're facing is nothing compared to what He's going to bring us out of. It is nothing compared to what that victory that He has for us. Do not settle for what the enemy wants you to settle with. Because our God is not a limited God. He cannot give you the minimum. He cannot give you something that you just be managing. No, He's going to give you great, above and beyond. He said the plans that He has for us are for good and not of evil. So his plans are always greater and better than what we can ever imagine. We just need to trust in him and believe that he will take control over the situation. And if there's one verse you need to remember, you need to meditate over, is Exodus 14:13. Do not be afraid, be still. The Egyptians you see today, that trouble you see today, you'll never see it again. So just allow God to be God. God bless you.